Hey, 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 I'm here. And I'm the only one in the room. Well, what do you know? Well, it is Sunday, I guess. That does make sense. Oh, but that's okay. I'm glad to be here. Oh, a little solitary time, just me in the room. Someone just popped in. Just me and my rocks. Capricorn, moon evening, Mother's Day. With Saturn about to go retrograde at 12:09 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, I'm ready for that. Well, if only we have a choice, huh? Might as well slow down to slow down. Get ready to slow down. Yeah. We're gonna wait until the room populates. We'll see who else is coming, if anyone at all. If not, then this will be a soliloquy, and I'm okay with that. Have we met? Oh, what a wonderful Mother's Day. What a wonderful, wonderful day today. Got the house party app so my mom and I could talk. She suggested it. I'm like, okay, wonders never cease. I'm okay with that. Got some video work done today. Made only 2 videos because the technical glitches were just extraordinary to me. But oddly enough, was very patient with myself in the process throughout. And that surprises me. That's new for me. But if you've been following, hi, thank you. Oh yeah, you like my little sandbox altar? I have to keep it away from the kitties. Otherwise, there'll be these little brown stones in it that aren't boji. Hi. Might just be you and me, Grace. Oh no, I just see somebody else just popped into the room. See, I get this number that tells me how many people are in the room other than myself. I think that's how that works. But again, there is that delay. So we will see who else pops into the room. It is just 11 p.m. on my clock on this end. So we can have our schmooze time and settle in. What's the stuff in here? And a little baby rake. Good for that. Hello, Tarot Throwaway, a very, very, very cool name. Yes, of course, you can ask a question. I don't know if I can answer it, but you can certainly ask it. One of these nights, I'm just going to do a Q&A with Mal. That's all it'll say, and you all know what it means. Yes, go right ahead. Tarot Throwaway. What a great name, by the way. I can certainly hum the Jeopardy theme. 1 second. You can never find a drag fan when you need it. Hold on. Hold on. What's the point of doing a chat on YouTube if you don't have your props? What's the point of being prop comment? Can you tell me how to deal with the people secretly harassing me and being racist? Well, tell you what. Let's wait a few minutes for other people to get in the room, because I will answer that question. Because though racism doesn't usually come from me, homophobia does. And if not homophobia, then the witch thing. So yes, I'd be glad to address that, but let's let some other people get in the room. Because if you are new to this, to my channel and this thing that we do on 11 a.m.-ish and 11 p.m.-ish while we're going through this interesting transition on planet Earth, which usually I have the volume on my laptop turned down, and I just didn't right now, so let's do that. We hang out for the first 10 minutes, what we call a schmooze period, and then 11:11 we make a wish, because that's just something that evolved. And then I will take a prayer. I'm going to say a prayer, and then I will be very glad to give you not just my take on it, but whatever my guides want to offer there. Is that cool? Because I've been feeling really emotional and drained. Well, I can imagine that. Tarot Throwaway. Hi, Melchior. Well, my black cat just came up to show his probably not sympathy, but let's just say it's sympathy. Do you consider yourself an empath, my dear? Tarot Throwaway. Right? Do you consider yourself? You might have answered that with that yes, but let me just check. Just check, because I got distracted by my youngest. And I am the mama of the house here, so it's Mother's Day here for me, even though I'm biologically male. Cats can't say papa. Yes, I'm an empath. So, darling, since that is the case, and many in this room are, a lot of what you're feeling isn't just you. A lot of what you're feeling isn't just you. And that's something that we've been talking about here for months. We've been talking about, well, how do you figure out if it's what you're feeling, or, you know, what you're picking up from the energy of the people around you, or maybe from the collective unconscious, all of humanity, who knows? You're never going to know. You're never going to know. So the thing is to feel it and to heal it. And tonight we're actually going to be talking about the inner child work, which is a good way to heal it. But as far as the racism thing, I will be glad to discuss that with this group. And you may, Melky, you may find this particular group of people incredibly supportive. We also do have a Markangelo Lyons, Mal for short, private Facebook group, which we're all kind of crewing together and helping each other there, but a lot of times just sharing goofy memes. I shared this thing today, a fairy name generator, you know, the first letter of your name, the month you were born, and all that stuff. And I don't trust the fae as far as I could throw them, which is, depending on the size of the fae itself, pretty far. So I was sort of like writing in my own names, and people were looking for the names in the generator, and I can't say any of them on YouTube, but I was cracking myself up all day long. I was cracking myself up all day long on that. My favorite one, though, was for the fairy name was Eve Plum. I laughed so hard, tears ran down my face. Right? What was the other one? Karen. What's your fairy name? Karen. Lost it. I have this section of my spirit guides that I call the Shecky Collective. All the Dead Catskill comics and stand-ups throughout time, as well as the great writers. I've got Carrie Fisher as well as Debbie Reynolds. The two of them go back and forth. They're a lot of fun. Yeah. Well, you know I don't trust the fae. Go watch the morning one. If you didn't catch the morning chat I did for the Divine Mother for Mother's Day. I didn't go off. I went a little off on the fae because I don't trust them. I don't trust them. Oh, the fae, they're all natural. So's arsenic. So are rattlesnakes. So are wildfires and tornadoes and hurricanes and earthquakes. Yeah, Eve Plum. Yeah, no, I think that was the one that really made me laugh the hardest. It was one of those laughs that I needed so, you know, like afterwards, it was like 100 sit-ups in 30 seconds. It was that I really needed it. Hey, Mari. We've got a lot of really cool people in this room. Tarot Throwaway. That's just such a great name. I love that. Tarot Throwaway. So hello, everybody who's here. We've still got a couple more minutes before we hit 11:11 Eastern, so we can make a wish. Have your wish ready. I mean, who knows if any of that works? Who cares? But it's worth it. Hey, D. I actually put a Ren and Stimpy reference in that fairy name thing that I don't think anybody caught. I think it was the last one I put in. It's from the Happy Happy Joy Joy song, and I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say it on YouTube. I'm monetized, honey. I am watching my language. This witch got to make an income, right? Otherwise, he's going to be a. Unable to work a drag queen. A stunning hot mess. He's a stunning hot mess. Ready? It's my favorite thing to do. Ready? Dragtastic Park. You know, when the umbrella head reptile spits all over Newman. Come here, Melky. I'm sorry. They don't like the drag. Well, Melky's pretty tough. He's my Taurian. Come here, baby head. I want to pick him up. He won't let me pick him up. He hates it. He hates it. Sabby's the only one who lets me pick him up and cradle him. Come here, booger. I love you so much. Here, you want to sit on Mama's foot? You could sit on my. Here, you want to come up this side? I just love him. How can I not? Yeah, well, they're used to me. I'm used to them. That's okay. 3 in the morning, he yowls. Yowls like someone is braiding his tail with barbed wire. Yowls, and he just wants temptations. That's all he wants, and he's not getting them at 3 in the morning. I'm in bed. I have to get up. I've got cards to read in the morning. I've got Wim Hof breathing to do. I've got yoga that I haven't done in days. Yeah, we are a fun group. That for sure we are, and very supportive. And everybody's, it's funny. We're all polite without being too politically correct, at least in the group, at least in the Facebook group. Here, it's different. Why? Because we have a private Facebook group. This is a public forum, so we watch it here. Well, more than a little bit. He is a midnight snacker. He is, and they have, by the way, Purina One salmon flavor. It's only best for my boys. All day long, all night long. It's just I've been trying to find a 12 Paws group for him for temptations, but they don't exist. Plus, how would I get him there? All these cats on Zoom. It's been a day. One skill I will never regret having is the ability to at least crack myself up, which some people don't get, but I don't care. I don't care. I'll consider it an aspect of self-care that I could crack myself up. Oh my goodness gracious. Anyway. Oh, we're okay. Get ready. It's 11:10. Watching the digital reader. I've been making the same wish every day, just building it up like an arrow on a bow. At the moment it's ready to fly, it's going to fly far, fast, and with lots of velocity. Oh yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, I left my water on the other side of the room, and I'm not going to go get it. It's okay. It's okay. So everybody got your wish ready? I'll let you know the second it turns, like literally. I'm watching it. The Archer. Sploosh. Danger zone. 11:11. Make a wish. Okay. Thank you. So motivating. And so it is. Hi. Welcome. Let's do our opening prayer. We actually have a rather important question that has been asked, but I wanted to wait until people were in the room for support, as well as that we would get the wish in and the prayer as well. Tarot Thoroughway has asked a question, so I'm going to answer that in a moment. Please take a deep breath, because we're going to have to shift gears, and I'm good at that, Virgo that I am. Just a couple of deep breaths, nothing fancy, nothing too deep. A little bit deeper than shallow, though. Just to let your body relax. It is evening. We're not trying to psych ourselves up. We're trying to ramp ourselves down a little bit. Just to be aware of the body, allowing it to relax. As it relaxes, the muscles and the bones will have to readjust. And it's from this more relaxed place I offer this prayer. Dearest God, Goddess, all that is. Once again, we join together in your presence and surrender this time spent together to you. May it serve your purposes, because we are here only to be truly helpful. We are here to represent you who sent us, so we don't have to worry about what to say or what to do, because you who sent us are directing us. So we are content to go wherever you wish, knowing that you go along with us and that we will all be healed as you teach us to heal. Please show us what you would have us do, where you would have us go, what you would have us say, and to whom, and help us prepare, if possible, for this Saturn retrograde happening at 12:09 a.m. right on the other side of this chat that we are about to do, because I feel there's no coincidence that we're doing this right before what looks to be an even slower slowdown to what's already slow. So may we breathe in your light, your guidance, your grace, and anchor it, that our conduct and our behavior, both inner and outer, be in alignment with our soul's high wisdom and truth for the well-being of all. Thank you, God, Goddess, all that is. Our guides, masters, teachers, gods, goddesses, saints, angels, totems, healers, and ancestors surround us in a force field of light containing and protecting the work that we share. This evening, I ask that all information and energy that exchanges between us does so clearly, cleanly, and for the well-being of all. Thank you. So mote it be, and so it is. Okay, now I'm ready. I wanted to throw in that second part of the prayer because when I first got in the room, we've got a question here from Tarot Thoroughway. Can you tell me how to deal with the people secretly harassing me and being racist? Okay, thank you, Mari. Oh dear, thank you for the super chats. I've got a unicorn and a black kitty. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So here's the tea, my Tarot Thoroughway. First of all, if they're doing it secretly, that's called a shadow behavior. It's something that they do not have the courage and the behavior, the guts to do. So that's number one, which means they are afraid. So chances are they are afraid of you. For whatever reasons, who knows, who cares, there's neurosis for you. The second part of that is that they are in pain. Nobody harasses anybody because they're having a good day. Do you know what I mean? Think of the best day you've ever had. It's the furthest thing from your mind to inflict any kind of pain, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, what have you, on another being. That's just truth, right? So I'm a student and a teacher of A Course in Miracles. I haven't put out any of the Course in Miracles content yet. I will be eventually, I'm guessing. Because the miracle is about a forgiveness, and the miracle is always for you. So forgiving them and understanding that there is this wounded child inside of them that possesses them, right? Either because they were abused, neglected, maybe both, maybe because they've been codependent or codependent upon, or because they've experienced great loss that they haven't processed that grief. And so they can keep it under control, but if somebody is doing something that they're not allowed to do, that child lashes out. So how do I deal with that? Well, I could tell you how I used to deal with it. My freezer used to be full with these little jars and bottles with people's names written on them, filled with water. Then I switched to Ziploc baggies because they were easier to store. And, it's called a binding, an ice binding. I'm very good at it. I was very well trained as a witch. So I'll go there. But you know what that is? That's a temporary. That is a Band-Aid on a tumor, right? It's like you have to kind of deal with that eventually. Now, I'm no longer of the mindset that's saying, oh, my vibration must be low. I must not be in alignment. I must not be in the vortex. That's why I'm attracting this. No. We are no longer allowing ourselves to use the law of attraction as a baseball bat to beat ourselves up with. Never again. Never again. It's not true. It's just not true. Oh, I've spotted, I've got it. So if I'm attracting that type of toxicity, I must be that toxic. No. People just can't handle your light because they have that same light inside of them. But what they would have to go through to embrace that light and live that light would be process and deal with all of that pain. Now, that's why I asked you, are you an empath? Because what you are feeling, let's just take the racism part of it, okay? All of my races that I am, I'm Italian, I'm German, I'm Irish, mostly Irish, blue eyes. I've got some Canadian French in there. I've got some Scottish. Yeah, all the calm people except for the Canadians, right? So, racism was never a thing. However, I'm a gay male and I'm a witch. So the misconceptions about those two, it's like misconceptions of minoxidil, man. They will just come for me, but they don't anymore. They don't anymore. And why they don't anymore is because number one, I don't care. Number two, should they come for me, I'm going to deal with whatever emotions rise up inside of me. In other words, I'm going to do the inner child work. I'm going, it's that thing. If they're going to push a button in me, that means a button's in there that I didn't know about. And I have had people in my own family come for me. So strangers, I don't mind it so much from strangers because they don't know me. When it comes from somebody close to me, but the rules haven't changed. Do I have the book? Oh, I do have the book right here. I highly recommend the work of Matt Kahn. Now, I don't know him. I just know his work. The universe always has a plan, the 10 golden rules of letting go. One of these rules, and it's pretty early on, I think it's like number 2 or something. It's like, people who blame you aren't happy. So they're projecting their pain. It makes them temporarily feel better. Does that make sense, my darling? And by the way, I'm so sorry. You or anyone has to deal with that. But that you said that they're doing it secretly, covertly, it's cowardice. You got a problem with me, come talk to me. Now, I've got people who were, no longer are, but were very close to me, like sisters. Do say things about me behind my back. I was like, why? Because they're afraid. Of what? Me? Well, I can understand somewhat that they might be afraid of me, but gone. They do, yes, they do sneaky stuff and then act tough. High school. May I ask how old you are, just for context? Not that coverts, right? Look up covert narcissism. Great fun. Oh yeah, the whole narcissistic pantheon. By the way, we're all narcissists when we're teenagers and kids, when we're children. But that shows you that they're frozen in their development, arrested development. It's more than a TV show. Oh, you're 20. Oh, darling, so you're still dealing with that high school mentality. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. You're not even old enough to drink yet. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Well, I mean, that does make sense because you're dealing with immaturity. I'm going to be 52 this year. I know, I don't look it. Do you want to know my secret for staying young? You're young enough to actually implement it, my dear. Meditate every day. All right. Don't let your nervous system get the better of you. Meditate every day. Drink lots of water. Moisturize. Don't have kids. I find that to be really the secret ingredients. And the tears of small children mixed with any Lancome product, miracle worker. That's a joke. Maybe. Right? Me? You think I'm cute? I'm just a stunning hot mess, really, once you get to know me. Good. No kids, right? Hashtag no kids. Yeah, no kids. Ixnay on the ids K. Cool, good. I really hope that works, sweetheart. And consider you found a more mature group of people here. If you want to come hang out, and if you want to join, I know you're 20 years old. You probably think Facebook is a little passé. It's for all the old Karens. Well, I'm Gen X, darling. I claim the Karen as long as it's Karen Walker. Honey. Yes, witch work. That's our secret handshake. Yes, witch work. Cool. Let's get down to business then. We did our prayer. I'm so glad that we could help. That's what I'm here for. That's what we're all here for, to help each other get through this. And really, someone in our Facebook group, her cat got out through the screen door. You should have seen the amount of prayer. Everything going on the planet, nothing mobilizes us like a lost cat. I love that so much. Oh, you want to know about a sugar binding? Do I put water in a bottle and put it in? She wants to know about sugar binding. Oh, you know what? The thing is if you don't deal with it, eventually there's no room for ice left in your freezer. But here, this is what I did. I get a Ziploc bag because they won't break. If you use a bottle, I mean, a plastic bottle, you can do it too. And if you can't get a personal effect, here we go. Let's go back in time. Ooh, the sugar binding spell. 13 teaspoons of sugar in a Ziploc bag with their name, a business card if you can get it. But you know, if you're dealing with people in their 20s, they probably don't have business cards. And if you do it to their cell phone, that's theft. 13 teaspoons of sugar with water. You Ziploc it, you put it in the freezer, you slam the door, and you say, chill out. That's the spell. Now, eventually, you're going to have to take them out of there. It is a temporary. It's like hitting a pause button. It's not a permanent. Except when I moved from my house in Bayshore to the house where I am now in Holbrook, Long Island, I had a couple way back in the freezers that I forgot about. Womp womp. So I had to defrost some people, but thankfully all of them moved out of Long Island. So Did I just cackle? That was so, that was on the edge of a cackle there. Oh my goodness gracious. Hey, DJ Mama Jody B. Oh my God. No, I am a very, very well-trained witch, and that's why I don't do that stuff anymore. Because why? Because at the core of who I am, I'm all about the unity. I don't want to be against anybody. I am pro-unity. But as one of the MatCon healing mantra cards are, is I don't have to like someone's behavior to love my journey. And I do love my journey. It's rough. I'm healing and feeling. I'm an empath. I'm a Pisces moon. I'm feeling everybody's everything. My inner child, however, is getting healthier and healthier every day as I give it more love. And that's something I want to talk about tonight. Cool. Well, sweetheart, I'm going to tell you, the way things are on planet Earth right now, you might not have to do that spell, because at 12:09 a.m., really less than an hour from now, the planet Saturn is going retrograde from now until, I looked it up, September 29th. Now, Saturn is the school of hard knocks. Saturn, the Greek name of the god, Saturn is the Roman name. The Greek name is Kronos, like chronometer, time. He's the god of time. That's why he's often seen with the scythe, right? The ticking away of it all. Takes a licking, keeps on ticking. So we are going to see a slowdown. Like, things are already slow. So what doesn't shock me about that is there's been this theme in my life where I don't know why it is. It's part of my contract, I guess. It's part of the divine plan, or I am often prepared for things in advance before the rest of the world deals with it. And maybe this is true of the first wave in general. The first wave are the divine feminines, the empaths that tend to be more spiritual, more intuitive, right? And that's who we tend to gravitate to, at least in this these chats, because we are the first wave. Yes, we're thought of as weird. I said to somebody, a dear friend of mine is going through, like, her family just isn't getting. She's like, you're so abnormal. I'm like, honey, you're not abnormal. You're the new normal. Like, you're ahead of the curve. That's all. Like 10 years from now, then they'll all be talking about this stuff, right? I've always been prepared. Perfect example, my YouTube career. What people are going through right now, and I'm not going to say what it is. If any of you are YouTubers, you know I'm not talking about it, right? You know why I'm not talking about it. I'm not going to call it out by name. You already know. What they're going through with sheltering, wrong word, what's the word I want to use? Sequestering in their own domain, and freaking out about loss of income. I went through that 2 years ago, and I started writing my books, which have been semi-successful, no bestsellers, because they're ebooks. And I had my YouTube channel for 3 years. If you go back, it's 2016, I started my YouTube channel. Very rudimentary, very like learning curve, like Fred and Wilma YouTube kind of level. But then summer solstice last year, Letha, I started doing the readings. And this past February, I joined the YouTube partnership program, the YPP. Yeah, you know me. And then right after that, it's like this all happened. I was like, I've already been working from home, right? I don't leave the house much. I've been taking clients online for months before this happened. So, you know me. So this thing, we're all sort of ahead of the curve a little bit in terms of the spirituality. So here I have been these past few days. I don't have the book. It's upstairs in my bedroom. Matt Kahn's second book. This is his third book. Of course, I'm reading them in reverse order. I would do that. Why? For some reason. Everything is happening for you. I think that's the name of it. I'm so bad at names. I have name aphasia. Yeah. Everything is here to help you. Well, he talks about the 4 foundations of self-love, right? Breath, space, time, and rest. Well, I have to tell you, these past few weeks with the technical glitches, actually the past month and a half, since everybody's been home and on the internet, it has slowed down my ability to upload videos. I was putting out like 5 or 6 videos a day. Now, if I get out 3 or 4, meaning the recorded ones that I do and then put up. Hey, Don, how you doing, sweetheart? How you doing? Don is the father of one of my dearest, and I will say at this point, oldest friends. I've known his son. I don't name names here if I don't have permission to, since I started my company in 1998. So, Don, you're always welcome here. Late, better late than never. You're always welcome, sweetheart. What was I saying? I totally lost the. So the impatience, the impatience, the frustration, and talking to the inner child inside of me, it's racing against the clock. Time, Chronos, Saturn, coming up against limits and limitations. So just these past few days, as I'm reading these chapters in Matt Kahn's book, it's been about the 4 foundational, whatever he calls it, of self-love. Breath. Well, I started doing the Wim Hof method, as have Dawn. I started in January. I had no idea that I was being prepared for strengthening my immune system through a respiratory practice. Do you see what I'm saying about I had no idea. I was just like, oh, this is cool. And I let go of somebody from my life last year that has just been devastating. And Wim Hof, his wife committed suicide, and he was depressed, and that's how he discovered the practice of the breathing and the ice bathing and all of that stuff. It was like, all right, so let me give it a shot. Totally life transforming, like so life changing. I love it, right? So I was already doing the breath thing, right? So the second one was creating space, right? Creating space for yourself, taking time by yourself. I was like, check, I live alone, but not appreciating that. In other words, when I feel lonely, I give myself the space to feel lonely. Like I don't try and distract myself. I love that child inside of me that feels lonely, because lonely really is the word of the child, right? It's the victimness that feels alone. I'm so alone. Oh, it's just me. And I get there too. Trust me. The child, the victim, the saboteur, the prostitute, 4 survival archetypes. Each of them has a voice. All of the archetypes have a voice, but those in particular, right? So giving them space, right? Giving these emotions space to be, embracing them, allowing them to be. But then the third one, time. Time, that's my challenge. That's the new one. So these past few days, when there have been glitches, when there have been delays, and I feel myself start to tense, I go, it's okay, honey, you can feel tense. I do the inner child work, nothing grandiose, not an exorcism, just, it's okay, honey. Let's just rest for a little bit. I love you, because rest is the 4th one. It's okay, honey. Let's take this time to rest. And can I tell you today, so many glitches, and I was patient. Like I was calm. Like my adrenaline didn't kick, right? There was maybe a hot second of frustration, but I didn't even try and repress it. It was like a burp. It was gone. Now, then again, it's Mother's Day. Got to talk to my mom. My mom was like, I want you to get the app house party. Now, of course, I'm flashing back to the 90s, right? Wasn't it a house party with, what's his face? You know, I'm bad at names. Oh my God, he's so cute. 6 Degrees of Separation, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, wasn't that him? Am I getting my actors wrong? It's totally possible that I am. Don't worry, I'm not going after him. Looks like Jada would cut you. No, thanks. Same thing with Jason Momoa. It's like, no, Lisa Bonet, she would cut you with an earring. No, thanks. Anyway, so here's the thing, the slowing down thing, time, to make peace with time. That I have been on this race against the clock for over 20 years, 22 years, May 1st, right? Drawing the Circle Productions. When you work for another company, I worked for Borders Books and Music for a couple of years. I was a bookseller, then I was a supervisor, then I was community relations coordinator, then I left in 1998 to start drawing the Circle Productions, and they all loved me there. I toured around Long Island and spoke at all the Borders Books and Music. So it was a very, very peaceful departure. But when you're on someone else's clock, you don't mind if you're late, right? But when you're self-employed, particularly as a content creator on YouTube, it's like, wait, and doing these readings, right? Because if you don't put out the readings in time, people stop subscribing, right? They'll unsubscribe. I've noticed that. I'm like, okay, I took a day off, people. It's like a little dependent. I mean, I know I'm good, but take it down a notch, right? Breathe. But you know, that comes with, right? So it's been a very, very loving experience for me. Oh, just over these past couple of days, to take time for myself. And we all say that, oh, you have to take time for yourself, self-care. And people have been saying, Mark, you work so hard. You work too hard. You work too hard. And I was like, yeah, well, but you have to understand, working hard is how we get rewarded in my family. It's how I was raised, a teacher and a lawyer. It's the story of a busy lady. My mother had her own nursery school, the Bayshore Playgroup, for years. Every day, well, 5 days a week, right? The mothers from the neighborhood would bring her there, bring their kids there, and you know, she taught every day, right? And I grew up with my mother working in the backyard, self-employed, very much modeled. My stepfather, Zeus, as I like to call him, has had his own practice. He was my mother's divorce lawyer. That's how they met, right? Working, very hard-working people. My family, that's how you get rewarded. You have to earn it. I actually noticed YouTube is unsubscribing me from some of the channels I like to follow. Weird. Oh, well, that's weird. I guess maybe if you don't watch them, I don't know. And you know what? I'm not going to get up in YouTube's face about it because I am honored to be doing this. Like, I worked hard to get that first 1,000 subscribers. And I think I just hit 1,500. Like, it's huge. That's huge for me. I think that's, I think, somebody go check. I don't know. Check it right now. It doesn't matter. Is that right? Yeah, I don't know. But it's just such an honor to be able to work. And here I am, making pennies per video for the ad monetization and all of that. I'm incredibly blessed and lucky to do it because I'm doing what I love. It's not like they're asking me to talk about model airplanes, which I would fly them into my eyes if that's how I had to make them. I'm not into it, right? Engineering, not my thing. No. A manifold to me is a manifold. That's as far as that goes for me. I am truly a divine feminine in that sense, right? So here we are now. So it's time to rest. It's time to relax, because here's the point of it. And this is what the guides said to me. I say it in the description for this stream. The guides were talking to me today, and they were like, it's not that you've been outside of the divine plan, but the divine plan now is all about slow down. Slow down. Because things are going very quickly when you slow down. Carolyn Mace is the first person I ever heard say it. I'm sure others have said it before her. The language of heaven is paradox. Great big huge things make very little change. Little teeny tiny things make great big huge changes, right? It's the people that are closest to you who love you most who can hurt you the most. Where total strangers can say and do whatever they want. Water off a duck's back, Jinx Monsoon, right? For all the the bluster that we make about what's going on planet Earth, there's nothing we can really do about it. And yet the tenderness and the care and the compassion on the planet is rising like crazy. We are in a time of divine action, hence paradox everywhere you look. You with me? Slow down. Not sloth, the deadly sin of the crown chakra, not that. You know what sloth is? Sloth isn't about being lazy. Sloth is when you have a piece of spiritual wisdom, but you don't act on it. Like, you know, you're supposed to forgive. And life moves at the speed of forgiveness, and you can't rush forgiveness either. But saying, nah, I'm not going to forgive them. That's sloth, right? Or I know I should be drinking more water, but nah, sloth. All right. It's the stuff you already have the wisdom of, but you don't employ. But not that you need to beat yourself with a wisdom stick either. It's actually doing to me with your channel too. And I watch you every day. That's weird. All right. Well, that's weird. Don't know why they're doing it, because I am working my tail off to put out, enough videos, enough hours, enough video hours, whatever it is. And honestly, all that's part of the divine plan too. So I'm not going to slow down in terms of my content creation. I'm just not racing against the clock anymore. I'm really taking the lesson, particularly with Saturn going retrograde at 12:09 a.m. if I haven't mentioned it yet, which I'm sure I have several times, right? So the four, I call them the four pillars because, Greek gods. There's a pillar statue right back there next to Hermes. You probably can't see it, but there it is. Breath, space, time, rest, Cicero, Lipschitz, burner. Sorry. Hey, Julia. Hey, Julia. I like sharing your reading YouTubes. Thank you. I really do appreciate. I mean, a share is a really big deal. It ups the views. I ultimately, when someone talks to me about a logarithm, I'm like, it's a log that you tap out a rhythm with. I have no idea, nor am I ultimately interested. But I do try and go with it. Right? I do try and get my work done in a timely fashion. But here's the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is that gentle is faster. Slower right now is faster. Think about how the body heals itself when you sleep. It do, right? Can you make your body heal faster by running? Well, that might do something for your cardiovascular system, but no, right? The body heals when it is at rest. Yeah, Saturn retrograde until September 29th, until the end of September. May the gods bless and help us, right? So here's the dealio. We're going to be doing more relaxation meditations here and more slow down, because Saturn returns are ridiculous. I started Drawing the Circle Productions, my company, on my Saturn return, during my Saturn return, when I was 28 years old. Because it retrogrades like it's doing now, or will be doing in an hour or so, it takes 28 and 30 years. So when I am 58, 59, 60, I'll hit my second Saturn return, and Lord knows what's going to happen then. And if I'm still YouTubing, rock and roll, but I have no idea. So what will be affected by this retrograde? Does that mean slow in a negative way? Now, I want you to watch for that thing, negative and positive, because we have no idea of what negative and positive is. I know it's a mindset. It's the illusion of separation, that it's either good or it's bad, which means the ego either gets what it wants or it doesn't. Let's put it this way. In the 80s, I was engaged in some extracurricular activities while reading tarot in the clubs of Boston. And did I mention it was the 80s? Lansdowne Street, the Hub Club, Venus de Milo, Access. I was on the guest list everywhere, and I didn't always get paid in money. You with me? Okay. Had I gotten my way, I'd be dead. Now, that would have been a positive at the time, but long-term NSM. NSM is not so much, right? We don't know. The Course in Miracles says it's not that judgment is wrong, it's impossible. So is it positive or is it negative? Let me read you a story. Hold on a second. Some of you know what story I'm going to read. If I can find it here, just bear with me 1 minute. Let's see if I can find it. I've read this a couple of times before. Oh, wait. Let me see if I find the card. This is from the Osho Zen Tarot. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I know it's called Judgment, but I think it's 24. Let me just see if it's 24. If I remembered that correctly. No, misuse of power. Or is it towards the end? Just hum the Jeopardy theme for a moment, please. Key change. Boom, boom. Nope, not there yet. I'm going to have to do it again. Do you think I could do it in a higher key? I think I can. Oh, there it is. Found it. Judgment. Okay. Some of you have heard this before. Cope. Excuse me while I move the rock garden. You ready? All right. Judgment means a stale state of mind, and mind always wants judgment because to be in process is always hazardous and uncomfortable. Be very, very courageous. Don't stop growing. Live in the moment. Simply stay in the flow of life, particularly when things are about to slow down. This story happened in the days of Lao Tzu in China, and Lao Tzu loved it very much. Lao Tzu is the author of the I Ching, the Book of Changes, through which the coins and the arrow sticks, the divination system, and all that, okay? There was an old man in a village, very poor, but even kings were jealous of him because he had a beautiful white horse. Kings offered fabulous prices for the horse, but the man would say, "This horse is not a horse to me, he is a person." It would be like somebody wanting to buy one of my cats. Stick them in the freezer. And how can you sell a person? A friend. The man was poor, but he never sold the horse. One morning, he found that the horse was not in the stable. The whole village gathered, and they said, "You foolish old man, we knew that someday the horse would be stolen. It would have been better to sell it. What a misfortune." Aren't neighbors like that? Not my neighbors. I have very cool neighbors. The old man said, "Don't go so far as to say that. Simply say that the horse is not in the stable. This is the fact. Everything else is judgment. Whether it is a misfortune or a blessing, I don't know, because this is just a fragment. Who knows what's going to follow it?" I have a feeling this is going to be thematic over the next couple of months. People laughed at the old man. They had always known that he was a little crazy. I mean, with that horse and everything. What was he going to do with that horse? He could barely ride it. But after 15 days, suddenly, one night, the horse returned. He had not been stolen. He had escaped into the wild. And not only that, he brought a dozen wild horses with him. Apparently, wild horses couldn't keep that horse away. I just Mick Jagger does. I Rolling Stone does. Again, the people gathered and they said, "Old man, you were right. This was not a misfortune. It has indeed proved to be a blessing." The old man said, "Again, you're going too far. Just say that the horse is back. Who knows whether it is a blessing or not? It is only a fragment. You read a single word in a sentence. How can you judge the whole book?" Ooh. Ooh, old man, you tell him. "Old man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you were." This time, the people could not say much. I just kneeled us. This time, the people could not say much, but inside they knew he was wrong. 12 beautiful horses had come. The old man had only one son, who started to train the wild horses. Just a week later, he fell from a horse and his legs were broken. Womp, womp, right? The sound effects are not in the little bookie book. I'm supplying those. The people gathered again, and again they judged. They said, "Again, you proved right. It was a misfortune. Your only son has lost the use of his legs, and in your old age, he was your only support. Now you are poorer than ever." At which point I would start taking hairs from their head and categorizing them for freezer service later. Back then, not now. The old man said, "You are obsessed with judgment. You are obsessed with judgment. Don't go that far. Say only that my son has broken his legs. Nobody knows whether this is a misfortune or a blessing. Life comes in fragments, and more is never given to you." It happened that after a few weeks, the country went to war, and all the young men of the town were forcibly taken for the military. Only the old man's son was left because he was crippled. Right? The whole town was crying and weeping because it was a losing fight, and they knew most of the young people would never come back. They came to the old man and they said, "You are right, old man. This has proved a blessing. Maybe your son is crippled, but he is still here with you. Our sons are gone forever." The old man said again, "You go on and on judging. Nobody knows. Only say this, that your sons have been forced to enter into the army, and my son has not been forced. But only God, the total, knows whether it is a blessing or a misfortune." And then Osho puts this little bit at the end. "Judge ye not, otherwise you will never become one with the total." Unity consciousness. With fragments, you will be obsessed. With small things, you will jump to conclusions. Once you judge, you have stopped growing. Judgment means a stale state of mind, and mind always wants judgment, because to be in process is always hazardous and uncomfortable. In fact, the journey never ends. One path ends, another begins. One door closes, another opens. You reach a peak, a higher peak is always there. God is an endless journey. Only those who are so courageous that they don't bother about the goal, but are content with the journey, content just to live in the moment and grow into it, only those are able to walk with the total. Now, a long way around to say, who knows what's going to happen? Is Mercury retrograde good? Is Mercury retrograde bad? It's just Mercury retrograde, and actually no planets go backwards in the sky. It's an optical illusion. It's a huge spell we put ourselves under. It's a big psychological freak out we do to ourselves, just saying, right? But still, enough people believe in it that it's become a thing. It's called an egregore, a group thought form, right? So, thank you, Don Milk. Some of our friends take a shot for always doing that. Is that the Little Book of Calm? No, it's the Osho Neo Tarot, which is not tarot because it doesn't have a tarot structure of a major arcana, a minor arcana, and a court card system. But I'm a Virgo, I would say that. And they're really good. There are stories from Jesus in here. Here's is this from the Mahabharata? I forget. Or the Bhagavad Gita. It's really neat. It's a neat little deck. I used it for a couple of readings like many months ago, and I stopped using them because I had to always read from the book. Different from Matt Kahn, it's shorter. But I've had that forever. I've had this deck forever, since the 90s, which seems like forever. So that's the thing. As we go through this, Coralie. Hi, Coralie. Oh my goodness gracious. Coralie Grant. I love you. Hi. Oh, it's so nice to see you, sweetheart. Aw, my heart just went boom in a good way. So to keep that in mind, right? It's like there are people who are gonna every day say, this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad. What is that doing to the child of your heart, right? Just say, honey, it just is. I love you. That's why my mantra to my child has been, honey, no matter what comes, no matter what goes, I love you. No matter what happens, I love you. So let's slow down. Things have already slowed down to a pace I've never seen in my lifetime. I don't think anybody in this room has seen life slow down to this pace. Check out the timeline with the woman doing Wim Hof with her horse. It's very heartwarming. Oh, I will check that out, Dawn. Absolutely. We're in a celestial slowdown, but that's the thing. We think slow is bad and fast is good. Is it? Is it? We think More is good and less is bad. Is it? Is it? We think that gain is good and loss is bad, always, 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 but is it? Is it? That's judgment. And A Course in Miracles says it's not that judgment is wrong, it's impossible. So it's something that we do to avoid the moment, to avoid the truth. It's a lie we tell ourselves. And usually it scares the crap out of the child inside of us. I'm not doing that anymore. To the best that I can avoid it. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. But my job is to calm that child down. I've been told to wait, patient, slow down. But isn't this a bit much? Is it? Is it? Right? It's like there are these two voices. And I'm not talking the voice of the soul and the voice of the ego. I'm talking about one says, well, this is good, this is bad. Is it? Is it? Prove it. You're only getting a fragment. You're getting one sentence and you're judging the whole book. Is it? Is it? I think it's a good question. I think the two words, is it? And to slow down. Now, let's talk about judgment briefly. The ego is going to judge anyway, right? So here we are allowing the ego to unravel through breath, space, time, and rest, right? As I read for Donna, because that was last night or this morning, I don't remember, from the Matt Kahn book about how sadness and depression is the ego dissolving. Like in that moment when we are crying our eyes out, the ego is dissolving, it's surrendering and being integrated back into the soul, right? Well, there's probably going to be more of that. But is crying good or is bad? It just is. So when the judgments come up, it's not, oh, remember Daffy Duck with the genie and the lamp? You know what I'm talking about if you know what I'm talking about. Whoa, Daffy Duck and the genie and the lamp. Down, 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 mine, mine, mine. It's like that's the spiritual ego. That's the ego taking spirituality of no judgment and using it as a baseball bat against ourselves. Repress for success. Oh no, the judgment didn't go anywhere. He just pushed it down. Let the judgment come up. Let it come up. Give it space. Give it time. Give it breath. RAW, respect, acknowledge, welcome. Welcome the judgment, because then you are the soul. You are the love, giving that an opportunity to unravel. All right? That inside of every judgment, this is another Matt Kahn thing, and I'm telling you, binge watch his videos. I did not find him through books. Did I find him through books? I found him originally through a Hay House video that they emailed me. I was like, who's this guy? And my guides were like, I don't ignore that. And they go, I get plenty of stuff from Hay House. And it was talking about the 10 golden rules, which years later, he finally put the book out. And I started watching his channel on YouTube. Just unbelievable. When you allow judgments to rise, give them the space. The judgment itself is like this thin veneer of lead with a golden nugget of intuition. So how often has the judgment been, oh, I can't stand that person. And you're like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, no, granted that is judgment. But if you allow it to be there and give it love, give it space, that lead begins to burn away. And underneath that is often something's off there. You don't have to like everybody in order to be on a path. I don't have to like other people's behavior in order to love my journey. Dissolving judgments. Hold on a second. As long as I'm here. As long as I'm here. How are we doing on time? Oh, it's 11:57. We're almost an hour. We're going to keep going until 11:09. There is one of these in here called Dissolving Judgment. And I've already said it twice, I think. Come on, guys. Just put it right in my hands. I know it's blue. No, it's a blue card. because I've read it 10,000 times. Sharing shame, balancing the brain, discovering. We're still going to meditate before we're done. I don't care if we go into midnight. If we go into midnight, we go into midnight. I don't care. Oh, I didn't care. Do never trust the fae. Dissolving judgments. Dissolving judgments. I don't have to like the actions of others in order to love my journey. So how much of that is not a match. Not a match. Don't have to like what they're doing. That doesn't mean you're not spiritual. It means that your gut is telling you something. We're not here for everybody, and not everybody's here for us, right? It's just how it is. Yeah. I'm working on my patience with the delay in both unemployment and stimulus. So much to do know that it looks like we're moving to Florida. Wow. Well, but that's the thing. We can't control the divine plan anyway. We have free will about what we want to do in the divine plan. So all I'm suggesting is use the time. Make friends with time. Don't make time the enemy. Embrace time in a new way. Don't fight against it. Breathe into it. Okay, I'll know what to do. I'll know what to do. I mean, I'm probably one of the few witches on planet Earth that will give you New Testament, but when Jesus sent his disciples out, they said, Master, what shall we say? It's like, I'll tell you when you get there. And that's the spirit within us, the soul. I mean, he wasn't talking about him. I'll text you. Considering it didn't exist at the time, in Aramaic, least of all. No, it's like, you'll know. Your spirit, your soul will tell you what to do in that time, but you can't do that if you're what? At war, W-A-R, worried, anticipating, and regretting. Anywhere other than in the present moment, right? So slow down. So take a nice deep breath at 12 midnight. Everybody breathe. And I want you to start at the top of your head and just work your way down, and you're going to give your body permission to rest, to relax. And notice if your scalp relaxes, it was tense. This is unconscious tension, unconscious stress. Make it conscious. Down your forehead, your eyes, your ears, your jaw, your neck, your throat, your tongue. And breathe. And your shoulders, just like an inventory. Relax, rest. Slow down, slow and deepen your breath. It's almost like emptying out so that you can be filled. Because the flow of time is indeed like a river. It moves only in one direction. And when we cling to the rocks on the side of that river, we can get beaten up pretty badly. So rather to be resilient, which is to be strong but flexible. That the soul is resilient. The ego, like a child, fragile, but tight, often so tight, so rigid, yet like spun glass. To relax, to breathe, to give yourself permission, and to use a simple 2-word mantra. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I don't know what to do right now. It's okay. Maybe there's nothing I need to do right this red hot second. It's okay. I feel uncomfortable. It's okay. That's welcoming. That's compassion. It's okay. It's okay. I have no idea what tomorrow brings. It's okay. No one else does either. I've been racing against the clock my whole life. It's okay. Many have. I'm getting better at it, but I'm not perfect at it. It's okay. I want to get better at it. It's okay. I try too hard. It's okay. Doesn't work though. That's okay. I don't always think I'm doing the right thing. It's okay. I don't do all the things I think I should every day. That's okay. Now bring in another 3-word mantra. I love you. The world is scary right now. I love you. This will be the inner child portion of our program. The world's really scary. I know. I love you. It's okay. I don't know what this Saturn retrograde is going to do to my life. I know. But I love you. I want to hide under the bed. I know. It's okay. I love you. I'm here. Everything's uncertain right now. But it's okay to not know. Just know that you don't know. That's called humility. To know that you don't know. And so often we're afraid of humiliation. But if you know you don't know, humility becomes the shield against humiliation. You can't be caught out when you know you don't know. It said, oh Lord, I didn't know. And isn't that a part of faith? To know that you don't know. The humility to say, but somehow there's purpose to all of this. Somehow we're all going to get through this together. I don't know how. And the experts can project and do the math. And maybe they'll be right and maybe they'll be wrong. But there's also the quantum field and the infinite variety of probabilities that this earth can be in so many different things right now. And one where what we're going through on this planet in this reality isn't happening in another one. It's very the Flash. It's very Flashpoint. And it's okay. Because we're here now with each other. And just like that old man with the horse, we're only getting one fragment of the story. But what do we know for sure? It doesn't matter if planets appear to go backwards in the sky. We are souls. This isn't our first time at the Humanity Rodeo. We've done this before. Mud, flood, fire, plague, war, pestilence, 4 horsemen. Honey, 4 horsemen are already riding murder hornets. Great name for a band, though. You got to admit, great name for a band. And they do look like they were designed by Marc Jacobs. Just saying. Or Betsy Johnson. They just said more like Betsy Johnson. You're absolutely right. Those hornets were designed by Betsy Johnson, and if they weren't, they should be. So it's okay. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to cry. I just recommend using terry cloth towel instead of tissues, because we need the tissues because the toilet paper situation is probably still what it is. Sit down in the bathtub, turn on the shower and cry once a day, because we are the divine sensitives. We are the empaths. We are the first waves, the divine feminines, regardless of our gender. And at 12:07 with 2 minutes to go, may Saturn be blessed. May Kronos be blessed. May we learn to father ourselves. Let's father that inner child, support that inner child, love that inner child, not through strictness, but saying, sweetheart, I've got you. Let's rest. Let's breathe. Let's take our time. Let's take space. Here, we'll set a boundary here. In this time and in this place, I now do conjure sacred space. Sacred space. I love you. I love you. Saturn, the father. We're learning how to father ourselves, not just mother ourselves. And with 1 minute to go, may you be blessed. This Saturn retrograde, all the way through, beginning, middle, and end. May miracles appear every day, every moment for you. May every breath be blessed. 1209. Blessed Saturn retrograde. 3 words that have probably never been said in that sequence. Say it with me. Blessed Saturn retrograde, right? Like blessed Beltane or blessed full moon or blessed new moon. Blessed Saturn retrograde. Blessed Saturn retrograde. Blessed Saturn retrograde. Blessed Blessed Saturn retrograde. Thank you so much, DJ Mama Jovi. Tell people about me. Look, tell people about me. Look, let's make the long purple-haired witch of Long Island semi-famous. If not famous, semi-famous, right? Because you know my work. I'm worth it. Like, what is that commercial? I'm worth it. Yeah, I am. I'm worth it. I'm worth it. I'm fun. I'm the fun one. But you know what? This is what I came in to do. And if Saturn is the planet of work, then you better. Yes, witch work. I love you all so very much. I'm gonna turn in for the night. I'm gonna get up early and do like I have been doing the past 3-4 mornings. The daily reads. I'm finding the right time slot to put them in. I think 10 a.m. is the right time to release them to the world, so that 11 a.m. I will be here in the morning. And if not, join the Mark Angelo Lyons Mal for short private Facebook group. So I will tell you, because I always tell you if I'm not doing it. And usually I tell you when I am. Cool. If you get famous, I can still say I know you. Yep. I love you all so much. You are all so wonderful. I love you here. Just do this for a second if you can, unless you're holding your phone. Then do it with one hand. Here's a hug. Astral hug. I love you. Oh, I love you. You feel that? That's who we really are, this feeling. I love you. It's not that we'll get through this together. Of course we will. We're already on the other side of this. We've already done this. It's a done deal. I love you all so very, very much. Have a lovely, lovely evening, everybody, and say it with me. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be. Night, night. Ciao bello.